Assalamualaikum. Today we are going to learn about legal ethics, animal research and handling. The benefits of research involving animals. Historically, animals have been used in a wide range of scientific research activities that have provided many benefits to the society. This is due to the advancements of scientific knowledge, human and veterinary medicine. So, animal has been used to study new emerging diseases like now COVID-19. And the animal has been used for disease model. For example, model for diabetic, model for hypertension and cancer. Other than that, animal has been used for test natural product. Then, animal actually being used for safety of chemical product, for example, in drug tests, in cosmetic product, and also to test alcohol and tobacco and its side effect. Thus, the use of the animal has the potential to cause pain, suffering, distress, or lasting harm to the animals. Therefore, it is important that benefit of such research could be achieved without or minimally causing pain, suffering, distress, lasting harm or death to animals involved in research must be the ultimate goal. Ethics of use of the animal actually for welfare of animal use in research. In IIUM, Animal Care and Use Committee, or is known as IIUM, Section 26 of Animal Welfare Act 2015, Act 772, it says that no person shall use animal in research, testing, or teaching unless A. All reasonable steps are taken to ensure that the physical, health and behavior needs of those animals are in accordance with this Act and the subsidiary legislation as may be prescribed by the Minister. B. The animal shall receive, where practicable, treatment that alleviates any unreasonable or unnecessary pain or distress when the animals are ill or injured. C. Any degree of pain or distress is reduced to the minimum possible in the circumstances where the nature of the research, testing or teaching cannot comply with paragraph A or B. IIUM Animal Ethics Policy actually is to ensure that the educational objectives are achieved, to uphold the SOP or Standard Operating Procedure implemented in IIUM Animal Care and Use Committee toward animal experiment. It's also to enhance the management of animal research facilities such as technical support and research room procedure. Then, this ethic policy actually to ensure the maintenance and improvement of human or animal health and welfare are attained. To apply for animal ethics in IIUM, so you just go to this website, okay, and from that website you can download application form. Okay, in this application form, you have to insert your proposal with your name and species of the animal of your interest. And you have to include why you use that animal with support from literature review. And at least you have to have training on how to handle the animal. If you do not have the training, maybe your supervisor or your co-supervisor actually train to handle the animal, and then they may actually teach you how to handle the animal. And then you need to include your sample size. Okay, and then you have to have clear methodology, and also it's very important to have benefits from the research. IIUM Animal Care and Use Committee, actually their functions are: first, to review proposals involving the use of animals for scientific and educational purposes. Okay, and then second, to approve proposals and related studies or activity involving the use of animal. This committee also monitor and recommend on the transport, care, use and fate of the animals. It also inspects the animal housing and research facilities of IIUM. It also reviewed the IIUM animal ethic for policy and related programs in IIUM, as well as investigate complaints about animal care and use and make recommendations. Other than that, IIUM Animal Care and Use Committee monitor compliance of approved projects involving the use of animals, as well as retain documentation on all proposal, projects and other animal related activities. For general principle of the care and use of animals for scientific purpose, the policy emphasizes the responsibilities of all those involved in the care and use of animals. This embraces a duty of care that demands a genuine commitment to the welfare of the animals, a respect for the contribution the animals make to the research, as well as teaching, and a desire to promote the animals' well-being. Encapsulated in the policy is the need in scientific and teaching activities, and we need to consider 3 R's. 3 R's actually are the principle of the animal ethics, which are: first, the R, replacement of animal with other methods. Second, R, the reduction in the number of animal use. And the third R is the refinement of techniques used to reduce the adverse impact on animals. For first R, replacement, techniques that totally or partially replace the use of animals for scientific purposes must be sought and used wherever possible. Therefore, it is a need a literature review of technique used on the animal must be provided. If you can use other means, for example, cell culture, so go and use cell culture rather than use animals, or maybe computer modeling. The second R is reduction. Each project must use no more than the minimum number of animals necessary to ensure scientific and statistical validity to reach educational objective. The principle of reduction, the number of the animal used should not be implemented at the expense of greater suffering of individual animals. And then, in terms of second R, reduction, scientific and teaching activities involving the use of animals must not be repeated. Okay, must not be repeated unless essential for the purpose or design of the project. Finally, overproduction of animal bred for scientific purposes should be avoided so that the need to kill healthy animal is minimized. The third R is refinement. Animal must be suitable for the scientific purpose, taking into account on their biological characteristic, for example, behavior, genetic attributes and nutrition, microbiological and general health status. The design and management of animal accommodation should meet the species to species needs, meaning it needs to meet the needs of transported, the house of the animal, the food, the water, and how to handle the animal. Then, wildlife should not be taken from natural habitats unless animals bred in captivity are not available or are not suitable for the specific scientific purpose. Researchers and educationists who use animals for scientific purpose must employ the best available scientific and educational techniques and be competent in the procedure they perform. Therefore, it must be under the direct supervision of a person competent in the procedure. Next, project should be designed to avoid both pain and distress in animal. If this is not possible, pain or distress must be minimized. Pain and distress cannot be evaluated easily in animals, and therefore researchers and educationists must assume that animals experience this in a manner similar to human. Therefore, scientific and teaching activities that may cause pain or distress of a kind or degree for which anesthesia would normally be used in medical or veterinary practice must be carried out using anesthesia appropriate to the species and the procedure. Pain management appropriate to the species, the procedure and circumstances must be provided. The use of local or general anesthetic, analgesic, or tranquilizing agents must be appropriate to the species. It means it needs to be parallel their use in current medical or veterinary practice. Endpoint of the project must be as early as feasible. Actually, this is very important to avoid or minimize pain or distress in the animals. When the death of animal is the deliberate measure used for evaluating biological or chemical process, responses or effects, the approved euthanasia method should be used. Finally, scientific and teaching activities involving the use of animal must be on minimum duration compatible with the objective of the project. Of the animal. Animal housed in the animal housing facilities of IIUM will initially be the responsibility of the facility director, but once allocated to a project, the researchers and educationists will be responsible for the day-to-day monitoring of the animals' welfare. The IIUM shall periodically inspect the animal research and housing facilities, laboratories where animals are used, and review records maintained by researchers, educationists, and animal facilities management. Animals allocated for projects likely to cause pain or distress, such as the study of pain, responses to stressor, certain animal model of human disease, or attempts to change behavior or physical or chemical means should be subjected to early and frequent inspection by the IIUM. At the end of each project, the completion report must be prepared by the researcher or educational educationists for the assessment of the IIUM code. Those for non-compliance, for example, corrective action for non-compliance to the Malaysian Code of Practice and IIUM Animal Ethics. Policy should be laid down in a written procedure defining mechanism and responsibilities of all parties. For non-compliance shall result in the rejection of proposal or withdrawal of approval and termination research. So from this learning activity, there are two questions that you need to answer. First, what are the functions of IIUM Animal Care and Use Committee? Second question is, describe the 3 basic principles of animal ethics. Thank you.